Hello everybody, this is Purge, bringing you guys a first-person replay commentary. I played this game a couple days ago. I don't remember which day it was exactly, but it was a couple nights ago, and I am playing Visage this game. And I know I screwed this up last time that I checked, but if I go to youtube.com and I check to see when the last time I made a Visage or Visage video, Purge plays Visage, I think it was quite a while ago, 9 months apparently. So the game was okay in terms of demonstration of the hero skills, so I figured I might as well make a new one because it's been a really long time for some of those new players. Yeah, he's kind of an interesting hero. He has been played in the pro scene as an occasional pick for quite a while. Fluff and stuff from Team Liquid likes picking and playing the hero quite a bit. He does have a pretty high skill cap. Definitely one of the higher of heroes in the game, up there with Meepo and Chen and heroes like that. So he's not exactly an easy hero by any means, but we will swing on over, and here we are. I was playing with some friends. I was playing with Megumi X Bear, if you guys know her, Blitz, and this guy was one of her friends, I think. I don't know who Blast Thickneck is, but he has a sweet name, that's for sure. Pirate Announcer, let's do it. I guess that works. We'll see. Okay, a little bit about Visage, or Visage. I like to say Visage, I think. I don't really like either name personally, but regardless, whatever. I think it's a pretty fun hero. I actually, every time I play him and the game goes well, I have a really, really good time playing the hero. If things go bad, he's not so much fun. So, did I like mess up my camera worse? I just need to like shift my chair or something. Oh no, it is messed up now. Camera. Perfect. Have you guys know that I trimmed my mustache ever so slightly today? It's getting too long. Okay.
30 seconds.
Let's talk about the hero now. Why am I not clicked on my hero? I'm really confused right now. There we go. That was weird. Okay, so our lanes are kind of weird. We had a off lane Timbersaw, we had a mid Rubik, and we have a Prophet, which means that I probably have to farm bot lane because trusting a lower level player to do it is not a good choice. So I was directing Megumi a lot this game, so I'll probably try to explain some of the actions, but I can't remember exactly everything that happened this game. Anyways, I thought I was playing support, so I bought Observer Wards and I bought Sentries as well, just in case the pull is blocked. So I think I'm going to give the wards to her and have her go pull. But normally you wouldn't have a Visage farming, actually. It's actually very common for a Visage to play support and to not get farm. It's a little hard playing it that way because it's very easy to get killed. Sometimes you end up being a pretty squishy hero because you don't have very good reliable disables. Like, you don't have a hard stun other than you're at level 6. And that's when I put the wards down and told her to go do it. So she was going to go put wards down, and I'm going to last hit. I seem to remember I last hit really, really badly in the early game. So we'll see how that turns out. Missed the first one. Good luck, guys. It's always good luck when you miss your first last hit. We're against a Magnus, and at the moment it looks like he's going to get quite a bit of experience because we don't have a support that's quite ready to go push him out of EXP range, so not going to be the best thing here. And he's doing an okay job contesting my farm as well, but I wanted to put some harass onto him if possible. Visage has really, really low starting armor, at 0 actually. I pick up Grave Chills while Soul Assumption. I didn't want to skill either point right when I went to lane because I wasn't quite sure which one I was going to use. If you're normally playing a support Visage, what you end up doing is getting Soul Assumption at level 1. There's the slow as well, and we're going to try to get a kill on him here. If you look at the yellow bars above my head, I guess I can explain that in a second. I think her Gush was a little bit too early there. If she would have waited until I got closer, I think it would have been a bit better. But he might have put wards down. I'm not quite sure. I was telling her to put the other ward down over there, but a little bit misclicked there, and I lost the last hit for that. Okay, Soul Assumption. The way this works is your second skill. You see these bars above my head? As any heroes, myself, my allies, or my opponents take damage around me, every time that 110 damage is done, there is a bar that appears above my head, a yellow bar. What this means is I have a soul, and if I have however many souls, it does damage based on my amount of souls. So if I have 3 souls built up, which is my max souls at level 1 Soul Assumption, I can do 65 damage per soul, which is 130 plus 65, so 195 plus 20, so that's 215 magic damage at level 1, which is actually pretty good. The range is quite high, a little bit higher than a typical nuke. a little bit higher than a typical nuke, and the cooldown is extremely low at 4 seconds. The downside is that it's really, really mana expensive at 170. The reason it's so expensive is because there was a period of time in Dota 1 where Visage was drafted a lot in tri-lanes, like a lot, just because he was so good at level 1, basically. You get a tri-lane, you throw a stun on a guy, you attack him one or two more times, and you throw the Soul Assumption, and it does a huge damage nuke for the early game. So, Visage, really, really strong nuke to help, but you have to like set it up with the allies, basically. You can't necessarily do it by yourself. I ended up making a Ring of Basilius because I knew I was going to need some mana in the lane here. Picking up a couple souls. I really can't take too much damage here, though. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but BTS is casting. They're casting, I think, some We Play tournament stuff, so you're probably going to be able to hear LD in the background for the rest of the video. Sorry about that, but they have to cast all day, I think, so there wasn't like a time where I could have just like walked away and been like, okay, I'm going to wait till they're done casting. So today, our schedules overlap. My last setting is looking better than it was before, but I do have +6 damage. Now I hit for 59, so apparently his int gain is decent. Because it looked quite a bit lower before. So, I'm prepared to give her the Ironwood branch back. There we go. I don't need that in my item slot. I'm still really good at last setting, as you guys can see. Grave Chill, if I didn't explain this yet, does a 32% movement speed reduction. The attack speed reduction is huge at 64. This is really, really good at enemy carries, against enemy carries. I actually played a game last night where I was against an Omni Knight and I got Grave Chilled, and it was like, I felt like tiny level 3 Grow with no attack speed attacking. It was like, I think I was Doom as well, which made things worse because my attack speed in the first place was really bad, but I was really awesome and I let him disable myself. I was pretty happy about that one, let me tell you. See, I like tried to juke it, but then he like threw it into the place that I used to be, so it actually ended up hitting me. He like metagaming to me, and/or I'm bad, I'm not sure. But Grave Chill, I personally like leaving it at level 1. I kind of like maxing out Gravekeeper's Cloak after Soul Assumption. I like to get Soul Assumption maxed out because the mana cost goes down by a decent amount, and most importantly, your nuke potential is a lot higher for team fights. So, in big team fights, especially in the late game, you'll often be casting this a lot, which is where things get pretty fun because you are focusing a lot on micring, and basically just casting that whenever it's off cooldown. So it's pretty cool. So the way his third skill works is, as you pick it up, it gives you these layers of armor. Every layer of armor scales resistance per level, but basically you get 4 levels immediately. So essentially, the armor levels, you always get 4 layers, but the amount that they protect you is not very much, or is less at early levels and more at later levels. So at level 1, I get 4 armor total, because I have 4 layers, and I also get 3% magic resistance per layer, so what, 12% magic resistance? You can see the numbers here, so you can always see how many armor stacks you have, and if you look at my armor total right now, it actually looks pretty good. So basically what this means is, if you take 1 source of damage, then it will remove an armor layer, and every source of damage you take, it will remove more and more armor layers. So this is a similar concept to a lot of different heroes, like Templar Assassin, who has Refraction. It's not exactly the same, but basically it works really well. Basically, damage over time abilities work really well for crushing you, but if it's just big nukes, like a Lion, for example, if a Lion or Lina ultis a Visage with full stacks of armor, it does very, very little damage, because at level 4, you'll have 4 stacks at 16%, so we're talking like, that's like 70% magic resistance or something like that. It's like an insanely huge number. Really, really good. That was a gush on the... I was really hoping... She gushed a little bit early there, and now he's escaping. We had an invis profit. Get this kill or not. Did I get the Soul Assumption? I did. Unfortunately, he was able to get the kill, so we lost out a little bit there. Yeah, so basically, if you're at max armor layers and they start doing the big nukes, then it's really good for you. But if they work you down a bit and then do their bigger nukes, it works a lot better for them. So basically, it makes you quite tanky despite being a support hero. It's kind of limited tankiness. It's based around the first couple hits, but the armor layers do recover, as you guys can see. The recovery time increases with levels. So I like maxing this skill out. Second, I know that some players like maxing Grave Chill with Soul Assumption because it gives you a lot better solo kill potential. Maybe it'd be best to just leave Gravekeeper's Cloak at like 1 or something. Another really cool thing about Gravekeeper's Cloak, it's only player-based damage. So that means that if I tank creeps, I still get the max armor layers. So that means you're very, very resistant to creep damage because you will have so much extra armor. I decided to fly my bats towards the mid lane. I seem to remember that Blitz was getting roamed on a lot, so I wanted to be able to help him out possibly. I wish my bats were there already because I could do some right-clicking, but He's going to eat that big ulti and probably die. Yes, he is going to die. If my bats were there, I maybe could have helped. The way the familiars work, I call them bats, but they're familiars. They're like stone gargoyle things. They have some max damage. They kind of are very weird. There's like a lot of weird things that you can talk about for Visage. It's a very unusual hero. Decided to buy some items here. I was going to go for a fast Medallion, which is why I bought a Chainmail and a Sage's Mask already. I just basically, Medallion's really good, and I'll explain that in a second. So the way the familiars work is, in a similar fashion to the Gravekeeper's Cloak, they have this like thing that peaks off, basically. So at maximum damage, they do 56. Every time they attack, they do like a couple less points of damage, down to a base damage of 10. So they start off doing about 56, and then when they attack, they do like 45. I don't know what the numbers are exactly, but that's approximate. Oh man, that is distracting. All right, back to the regular one. Actually, let's do Bastion. We haven't done this in forever. Okay. So yeah, the familiars do less and less damage as they attack. So they're very front-heavy burst damage creatures. So once they run out of damage, you can turn them into stone form, which is an ability for them. It's like the F hotkey or something for Legacy. It basically drops them from the air. They will do an AoE damage stun, and they'll become invulnerable for like 10 seconds. When they go into stone form, their damage will get reset from the base of 10 back up to whatever your max is per level. So at level 1, if I do the stone form, they go back up to 56 damage per hit. If that happens, cool. You do not want to let them die, though. Every familiar is 100 gold. That is a lot of gold. Costs a lot for them to die. And I think that's about it. They have very, very low armor as well. 0 familiar armor at level 1. So some heroes really counter the familiars a lot. Like Bristleback, for example, does AoE physical damage. And since they have 0 armor, it's really, really easy for Bristleback to kill them. I have a Ring of Basilius, though, which will give 2 armor to myself and my allies and my creeps. So it's a nice thing to grab if you are playing Visage, because giving the bats a little bit extra armor is always going to be a good thing. He almost casted, but then he decided against it. I did actually bring my bats over at this point. I kind of wanted to go on this Lina really bad. It looks like a Queen of Pain is actually interested in jumping on us as well. And I think this is when we spot the Quap. So I'm going to go on the Quap a little bit. I'm looking to use a nuke. There we go. I used the nuke. And I actually did get killed. So I used the stone form thing, which ended up killing the Magnus. But with a little bit of right-clicking, I should be able to... Yep, okay. I was able to kill the Lina with the familiars. They should be pretty much out of damage now. And as you can see, then now they don't do any damage, really. They used all their burst, essentially, and it's all over. So, but using the double stomp, I was able to kill the Magnus. You guys, I'm sure you saw how big that nuke was. It was pretty fantastic. And then, there we go. Going invulnerable, they'll full heal, and they will do a little bit of damage to the Quap. So, I'm buying a Medallion now. I should be getting, yep, TP scroll, and I'm going back to lane. So, the reason Medallion's pretty cool is for a couple reasons. When you use Grave Chill on a target, they're usually extremely slow. And during this period of time, this gives you a chance to set up not only familiar auto attacks, but also the stuns. And since they do a lot of physical damage, getting a Medallion means that I can reduce my armor and my opponent's armor, and then focus on them with a lot of right clicks. The familiars will do more damage as a result, as will my right clicks. And then if I get my soul assumption up, if I get the souls up high enough, then all of a sudden I can throw a nuke as well. So Visage becomes kind of difficult to micro for these reasons, and that's why a lot of people have trouble, because as soon as you get the bats, the hero becomes a lot more complicated. If he just had soul assumption and grave chill, you could have a great time. Just soul assumption every 4 seconds. When your souls get big, your positioning would never be bad. But if you're trying to position your bats onto a target who's just slowed, not stunned, it can become a little bit tough. So I'm considering going on this Quap a bit, but then I decide that's a Lina, and I really am not interested in dying. Purchased a magic stick as well for a little bit of magic burst here, but as we can see on the map, they're actually deciding to come towards us pretty hard. I'm looking for a Lina. There's a Lina. We should be able to get this kill, I think. I did Medallion her. See how much damage that did? That was an impressive amount of damage. Just a little bit of bat, right click, a grave chill, and a Medallion, and I could use the soul assumption to finish that up. So I get a kill on Lina. Squishy heroes that don't have escape like Lina are the perfect kind of hero that I want to play against with the Visage, basically. Again, using Medallion. And when the bats are low damage, they don't do much at all.
Have fun trying to bust down Radiant structures now. Radiant's top tower's in bad shape.
I should have probably kept attacking all the way through there if I wanted a shot at killing the catapult. So yeah, got the Medallion. It gives me armor, it gives me mana regen, it helps me single target focus up heroes, which is really, really useful. And I think at this point I decided to build a headdress. So I'm making Medallion, and I'm going to make a mech afterwards. Now this isn't the build that Meepone goes. If you guys don't know who Meepone is, I played a game with him the other day. I can't remember which commentary it was that I recorded. But I was playing, he was playing Visage, and he goes this Medallion build. And he has since, I think, TI2. I saw him play in one of the booths we played in, the TI2 player booths at TI2, and he played Visage, and he went Medallion as well, and it's a pretty cool build. But he's very well known for his Meepo micro, and he is on the beta test team, so like the team that tests all the new heroes and the balance changes and stuff. He's been with Dota for a very long time. But he micros extremely well. He always goes Medallion on Visage. Yeah, he plays Meeple really well, which is another reason why he likes this hero as well. So I do the double stomp just to push the wave a bit. I want to kill the wave if possible, and it's also going to reset the bat damage. By the way, the bat cooldown is really, really high. Keep that in mind. We're going to try to burst this down here. I remember this moment, and I am terrified. That's an Echo Slam. Did we get it? Alright, cool. Tidehunter got the tower. I have full souls. I could have used them, but I just wanted to run because there's the entire enemy team. But she did get the tower, so that's completely worth it. If I want, another cool thing you can do with the bats, if you want, you can attack with them until they hit 0, and then you can do a double stun, and then you can resummon them and do the same thing again. It's the only way you can do it really, really fast, is if you wait for the resummon. But the resummon is huge. The cooldown is like 180 seconds. God, they have so many heroes looking to dive me. I'm like, alright guys, I think I'm getting dived. So I always want to put the bats in a position where they're hidden. They won't be attacked by creeps. The enemies might not see them, and I should be able to set up a kill, ideally. I know that we have a Ravage on Tidehunter, but I didn't really want to go out because I knew they had so many heroes here. So I just played a little bit safe, and I wanted to hide behind the trees. If you're ever afraid of getting dived, you should always move to this area because it should give you a pretty good chance of being able to cover yourself. If they come for you, they're going to have to look for you pretty hard. The vision on the familiars is absolutely terrible, as you guys can see, but I think we had Blitz here as well. And this was the part where I think it was maybe time to fight. Ooh, I like that lean. Alright, so we killed him very easy. And then a Soul Assumption on the Quap. I am not microing well, as you guys can see. Looks like a pretty weak nuke. I look possibly dead. Go, little familiar. Wow, Quap blinked at the perfect time. Holy crap. That was really close. I think what I should have done there, other than... Oh, we'll talk about this after the battle's over. Go, little birdie. Okay. So after I killed the Earthshaker, I maybe should have summoned a second set of familiars, because I used them to attack a bunch, and I think I did Stone Form on them. And I could have just resummoned and right-clicked. I think that might have been the better choice. I only have one bird left over right now, so unless I resummon, I'll be stuck on one bird. They do survive past your death. And I did tank quite a bit of damage there, so things were okay. I also had a 15 charge wand, which I did not use. I think I got chain stunned, and then I got Quap ultied, so I died pretty fast, but I mean, there's lots of improvements that I can make in my Visage play. I almost never play them. Maybe I should play more. Anyways, I ended up picking up treads because I decided that I wanted to be a little bit more squishy. I put the Sentry Ward on the Courier. I'm sorry, not squishy. The alternate squishy, tanky. I wanted to be more tanky, and I wanted more attack speed. I could have hypothetically just rushed towards a mech, and I know some Visage players really like getting Arcane Boots to offset a high cost of Soul Assumption, but I wanted attack speed and I wanted HP. Especially with all these levels of Gravekeeper's Cloak, my survivability is really, really high right now. Even against the first heroes like Lina and Quap, it's actually quite good. They don't have that many damage over time spells, so actually the Gravekeeper's Cloak should keep me fairly survivable. But basically, I just wanted more tankiness, and especially as a hero that does more damage the more he stays alive. Like every 4 seconds I stay alive, hypothetically in a team fight, I'm going to get another 400 damage nuke. It's a lot of damage, it really is. 6 souls at 65 damage is like... That's like... it's like 400 damage. Yeah, it's about 400 damage. So 400 damage nuke every 40 seconds is really impressive, honestly. And it's got great range as well, so it works out nice. Looks like they're pushing. I'm considering TPing. Do I have a bat on the way? I do, actually. So we're trying to decide. I'm going to TP to the tier 2 because I don't really feel safe going to the tier 1. And we'll see if we can hold this. The glyph is going to help us a lot. But that should help. Okay, now we can deny the tower. It is so important to do this, guys. If a tower is getting pushed like this, you have to contest it. Show up with your team. Don't let them take it for free. I need to throw a nuke. Alright, hit Quap with it. I can nuke again.
Guess what's happening to Dire's bottom tower?
Oh, that was good. I like that.
The Dire might want to find their top tower.
She dodged it. Go Medallion.
Dire's top tower, you know the drill.
I don't think that was very wise of him.
That's forward a roll.
Clean up the Lina as well. I remember that part. We got level 2 familiars now, so they do more damage. They cap out at 86, I think. Oh no, a lot higher, 95 damage per hit. They were really good when Visage first came out. You could feed couriers. I'm sorry, the familiars are 150 gold, which is a little too much, I thought, but they would do a lot more damage at level 1, so we can use them to push towers and stuff. We won the team fight quite well. I was able to pick off the Lina. Did we kill Slardar? Who else did we kill? Timbersaw died, Magnus, Lina. We also lost Nature's Prophet. Who is this? This is a Slardar being really aggressive. Go little birds. Well, I think we're a little bit too far forward here. I should have been moving those bats a lot earlier. I'm still not moving my bats. Go little bats. I am literally not even microing my bats right now. Sometimes you just forget about them, and then I'm like, oh hey, I have bats. Wait, maybe I was microing them. Oh, I did not realize he was TPing. Timber Sundo. So that's where he was. We were not quite sure. I don't know. It looks like he's not going to show. Quap was thinking about showing. Alright, so now I can buy more items. Gonna finish mech. Ooh, I was really hoping that he would have gotten the lift off. If he would have lifted in there, we might have been able to kill. Because I could have done a chain stun. And he also had amp damage, which was really cool. Because that's, again, same as Medallion. Bonus armor, or minus armor against the opponent when you do physical damage is fantastic. But yeah, this hero's not hard enough to play, so you should get a mech and more things to micro if you can. Heals really good on him. Again, any hero that is at least slightly tanky, getting more tank items on them makes them a lot stronger, I promise. This is the case for almost all tanky heroes, and usually the reason they're designed that way is because they do damage or are useful by staying alive. If the hero is designed properly, which can pretty much guarantee that almost every Dota hero is like really well designed. Scream of pain. So, 700 gold or 650 at least to another mech, or to the mech. Even grabbing the buckler right now is fantastic. I can give the +2 armor to my bats. I can give myself 7 armor, which again, if you look at my armor total right now, it looks like I have like a Shiva's and an AC or something. But really, it's just my passive and the buckler and a Ring of Basilius. That's it. It's really not that much. Helps me a lot against Slardar actually, because Slardar usually has a lot of upfront damage. Usually does a stun and a couple right clicks and hopes to kill them at that point, but even late game I'm going to not be taking too much damage from him. Oh yeah, I forgot I have a Medallion as well. That's another 6 armor. So my item set is actually really good against the Slardar. Personally, at least. I mean, even if you're not using, you could argue, yeah, if you use the Medallion, you're gonna take more damage, but half the time Medallion is just sitting on you and you're not using it offensively. If you're taking focus fire, you don't always want to use it. So, and oftentimes I forget about it, I'm sure. But yeah, even still, 6 armor is fantastic. My HP is quite high now, and we're going to take a free tower, so... Looks like we traded, so they took a bot tower. Just about to get a mech, so I want to farm for 10 gold. Die, Centaur, die. Cool. Alright, I got the money. Unfortunately, the courier is nowhere close. Which means... Ooh, I'm going to try to kill solo kill the Slardar. I saw him here and I was like, I'll give it a shot. I mean, I have pretty good solo kill potential, honestly. I can resummon the bats as well. I have to hit him so he doesn't blink, though, because I think he had a blink dagger. Alright, and now that I slowed him, I know I can go on him hard. He did actually get the stun off. I was surprised on that, but... He almost got away. If Nature's Prophet didn't ulti there, I don't think I would have gotten the kill. Or at least, I don't think he would have died, but getting that kill off was huge. And now my Grave Chill is actually maxed out, so And a short little kill like that, all of a sudden my attack speed is going to be huge. Or at least my the duration is a lot higher. 6-second duration now for Grave Chill. The hero that I want to use this on in every fight is definitely going to be Slardar, though. Like I said before, the attack speed reduction is really big. You have to understand, like, a 64% attack speed reduction is a huge impact towards your damage potential, so casting this on enemy carries is a huge nuisance for them. If you're playing against an anti-mage or Phantom Assassin or something like that, it really helps that a lot. I put my bats in stone form again because I want to get their damage back up and have their cooldown off by the time that I'm ready to fight again. But even lowering movement speed, especially if it's a melee carry, guys. If it's a melee carry and you can reduce their movement speed, it's really, really useful. Just because any slows on a melee hero who requires attacking to be useful is essentially stunned in a way. They're not attacking. They're not fighting the heroes that they need to fight. So I got my mech finished. My items look beautiful, don't they? Gonna push the lane. We can fight because we do have Ravage, so even if the fight goes slightly bad, we should be semi-okay. I'm level 14 as well, so I'm just about as strong as I will get for the rest of the game. And again, I'm looking for a Grave Chill. Got a Grave Chill. There is some nukes. I tried really hard to cast Soul Assumption on him, and I finally got it off. But
The Dire couldn't hang on to that mid-tower.
so now that we took the mid tower, we still don't necessarily... we can still fight because we didn't use a Ravage. So that means because they didn't force it there, we can now push the next tower. This is kind of like a rolling ball of arguably mistakes from them. Whenever... if they don't contest us at the first or the second tower, we just got gold from a successful push. And this is why it's so important to stop pushing early. If you don't shut down the pushes, they'll get gold. And then it's just going to be harder later when they have more gold. So we saw them coming through the jungle, so we're trying to set up now. I really should have mech there. Yeah, bats. That's pretty fun. So I completely forgot to mech, but other than that, I did really good that team fight. And I was like, oh hey guys, time to mech. I could have meched Megumi there. I should have tried to save her, but I didn't. This time I was watching. I was like, hey, I should mech right now. I should mech. But at the time, you're focusing on bats and soul assumptions and grave chills and managing your cooldowns, and it's pretty overwhelming. So if you guys do try to play Visage, well, it is not for the faint of heart. I can tell you that for a fact. I used to really like this hero in Dota 1, though. He honestly was one of my favorites. I just don't play him anymore. Like when I think the main issue is that when I tried to make a recording of him when he first came out, I had a lot of trouble. I played a lot of games where people wouldn't give me decent lanes. Like I would be coupled with heroes that don't have disables. So like, think of it this way: if all I have is Grave Chill and right clicks to set up my Soul Assumption, he's a terrible hero. You need somebody to throw a stun or throw a nuke to set up my Grave Chill or my Soul Assumption to be good. And if you can combo with somebody else, that's really, really useful. Okay, so this is the build that Meepone always goes when he plays Visage. He goes Medallion, I think maybe treads into aghanims. And the reason he grabs this is because what aghanims does for Visage is it gives you a third bat. Now, it may sound meager, like it does increase your damage by 50%, you could say that. The stun duration does go up as you level these, by the way, and I'm just really, really quickly gonna like look at the bat numbers so that we can talk about these quick. So the bat numbers here, as they're scaling, they do 100 damage at level 2, 140 at level 3, and the stun duration goes all the way up to 1.5 per second. So stun duration becomes actually pretty good. And if you think about staggering these, once you have 3 bats, you're talking a 4.5 second AoE stun. And that is actually really, really useful and impressive. And their damage goes up quite a bit as well, just with their right clicks. The right clicks at level 3 is 154 for the first one. These guys can backdoor like nobody's business, honestly. If there's creeps around and you've got 3 of these guys just wailing on a tower, they die really rapidly. So honestly, the Aghanim Scepter is actually really, really fantastic. I opted for the mech because it's a little bit safer of a build, but the Aghanims is actually really good. I have my bats positioned right now for vision. I wanted to see if they were going to come from the secret shop way, which is pretty common, or from the left side I looked at the entrance over here towards the jungle space next to us. So those are the two locations I want to see people. And if you look at my vision, I can actually see people. I lost one bat to Queen of Pain, it looks like, but should be alright. It looks like we have... Okay, I don't know why Timbersaw was there, but he just died. I have no clue. Blast Thick Neck, man. Sometimes I wonder about you. But I've only got one bat left over, so I'm kind of looking for enemy heroes. We want to see if we're about to fight, basically. And in a short 1,000 gold, I will have the Aghanim Scepter, and then I'll have a third bat once I resummon. Again, really, really good at level 16. The single target damage should not be underestimated at all. I could really easily solo kill one of these heroes. I was considering setting up a stun. I probably should have been going in on this the whole time while I was microing. Instead, I was just microing. I'm going to try to pull him into us, if possible. People usually wait after the stone gargoyles go down, because there is a chance of getting the kills as they fly away. Look at those right clicks. Just stole my last hits. I kind of wanted to hit 16 before I summon the new ones, though. Again, the cooldown is really, really long, 160 seconds, so feeding them is not a good thing. And I don't really want to cast them if I'm about to hit 16, basically. Because then I would have to wait a while until 16. But I'm not even leveling that fast right now anyway, so maybe it wouldn't make that big of a difference. But it really does help a lot for them to have squishy heroes, so I can't stress that enough. If they have squishy heroes, then I can snowball, and that's basically what's been happening. I've actually been getting kills and assists and stuff. So it really does increase your DPS by a lot. I also like Treads a lot because his agility is really low. 30 agility at this point is pretty crap, so he's got good HP and he's got good int, but his agility is not very good. So getting attack speed items on heroes that have really low agility are very useful if you're looking to do damage over time. A good example of that is Doombringer. What a shockwave. Alright, we are considering going high ground.
Double degradation.
That's a double damage on Nature's Prophet as well. So from here, we're just aiming to get a good team fight. Looks like a lot of them are smoked. We need a good team fight, and then we need to turn this into... Oh wow, they're all right. A good team fight, and then turn this into a... Hopefully a Rax. Again, a Grave Chillin. Look at that slow, man. It is so big. Wow, so much damage. My one bat actually did pretty well there. I got another stun off, more damage in an AoE. Grave Chill on the Slaughter really did help a lot though. If he would have BKB'd before I Grave Chill, he would have done a lot more damage. I'm not so sure if the BKB removed Grave Chill or not. We could check that later, but again, the 64% attack speed slow, it took him forever to kill one of our heroes, and it was Nature's Prophet, I think, that he jumped on. It took forever for that to happen. Again, Slaughter's thinking about going back in, but we weren't really too worried about that. I should have casted Grave Chill instead of Soul Assumption. That was a mistake. I can mech this at least. Things are getting weird. Resummon the bats. This does not look good. Got 6 armor shields. Oh, I thought I made that. I couldn't remember. Oh man. I did use my ulti there. Maybe you should have waited till I got aghanims.
Guess what's happening to Dire's bottom tower?
So close to the TP, guys. I know where to play. Did you hear that? Did you hear that, guys? This is the part where Prophet went ham.
In the royal catacombs.
So ham.
Somebody's on a roll.
His damage is actually really good. I think we told him to go carry build, which she essentially did. Shadowblade, Orchid, Maelstrom, a little more DPS focused than Sheep is. Works out pretty good. But yeah, if you're playing Visage, other than not getting flustered by all the micro, look at this damage, by the way. Just like casual Rax right click. He just died. Alright, so I got aghanims now. I still have 2 bats. Can't really tell. Yes, I do. Rod of Atos is actually another really good Visage item because it gives you more disable to set up the stun. You'll have 1 slow from Grave Chill, and then if you have a Rod of Atos on top of that, it'll slow them further, and it's going to give you the easiest ever familiar stuns. You can attack with full duration of familiars and set up the stun afterwards. Gives you a lot of good soul killing potential. So I am walking towards the front. I think she should have gushed him. Alright, so in 3 seconds I can resummon.
Ain't looking good for the Dyer's mid-racks.
Three bats. And the manic kill stealing. Soul Assumption is really good for kill stealing. It's so good for it. So pretty good tower damage. You don't really want to stun quite that fast, by the way. If I was actually trying to chain stun somebody, you have to separate the tabs by 1.5 seconds. If you guys are wondering how I'm controlling this, I always hotkey my hero to 1 and I hotkey my creatures to 2. So if I want to stun with my gargoyles, I'll press 2, I'll get him in position, I'll press the hotkey F, then I'll press tab and F and tab and F. So that will use F on all 3 of the creatures, if you guys are curious how I've been doing that.
Dyer's top rags didn't make it.
Oh good, I didn't lose one of my bats. Again, I think I could have microed that much better, but once again, overwhelmed and stuff.
Dyer's mid tower won't last much longer.
So much tower damage.
Dyer's mid towers have.
I seem to remember their gargoyle form were on cooldown here, which is why I'm doing this slowly.
Hope the Dyer wasn't partial to that mid tower. Dyer's mid tower needs a little help. The Dyer couldn't hang on to that mid tower.
That was a dead Earthshaker.
It's
just
heating
buyback.
up, but the Dyer side ancient.
And now I'm looking to buy something. Oh yeah, I got a Vlad's, because I wanted more armor.
The Dyer's ancient is getting whooped.
I was able to mech before we got stunned there. Really wanted to dive
Dyer's
this.
ancient is in trouble. No idea how many that was. The Dyer's ancient ain't gonna last.
I'm scared about my bats. Live little bats. Alright, cool, and that's the end of the game. So, yeah, not exactly a typical laning style. I did like a farming safe carry role, but that's not really, you should play more support, but the item progression is still about the same. And even if I did start off farming, it's not like I was playing like a carry. I was just in a lot of fights here. I only have 98 CS, so I wasn't exactly farming that much, but I just took a moderate farming role, and most of it was related to pushing and team fighting. And the team fighting went well, so I was able to snowball, and then we were able to win the game. So that's how you play Visage. I like the Medallion. Mech is good. Aghanims is really, really useful. Don't get a Vlad's. I think that was just a joke item. But Rod of Atos is also pretty good. Lots of HP from the Vitality Booster and lots of int from the 2 Staff of Wizardries, which will help you cast more Soul Assumption. All around, great hero, but really, really high skill cap and very difficult to play. So if you guys have any trouble with micro, I would stay away from him. But if you're looking for a challenge, go give him a shot sometime, and make sure that you pair him with a stunner or nuker. That way you can get the soul assumption charge up and just rinse, repeat, kill your opponents in lane. So thanks everyone for tuning in. I appreciate it. Sorry I didn't upload a second video yesterday. I got kind of tired, and I just felt like doing nothing. So that's what I did. I did nothing yesterday. But today I'm going to make a video, and here it is. And maybe, am I going to stream? Yeah, I'm going to stream. I called my mother this morning, and she was at a brunch, so she couldn't talk. So I may have to talk to her quickly during the stream today, but I think that's it. Okay, everybody go tune into my stream, twitch.tv/purgegamers, or go to my website, purgegamers.com/stream. That's another really good place to watch the stream if you guys are interested. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. Go tell your mothers you love them.